Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? Today we're going to talk about something that's really confusing and really afflicting a lot of college students, primarily college students and some high school students, which is whether or not to take the gap year. Let's get started. Now, when thinking about whether to take, again, like I want to call it a path year, you want to be thinking about a couple of core factors. Okay, and we're going to go through those factors together on this video for you. The factors are academics, professional, finance, and personal/passion, okay? So think about those when you're going to be making the decision. But before we even make that decision, let's think about what is the gap year. Now, the gap year traditionally and historically has been very commonplace among Commonwealth schools and schools in Commonwealth countries, primarily Australia, New Zealand, even England. They typically like to take the gap year after high school, about a year off before they start college. And why do they do that? They do that primarily to really kind of give themselves a chance to personally grow, learn a new language, really discover who they are, figure out what they want to study, right? Because maybe oftentimes, especially in the Commonwealth system, a lot of them graduate high school at 17. Right? Sixth form college will go on at 17. And so they want that extra year to really kind of develop as a person. Okay? So when you want to think about whether to take that gap year, like they used to take the gap year, and there was about 3% of Americans were taking that gap year, right? Not many. A lot more, as I said, in Commonwealth countries. But when they were thinking about taking the gap year, what are the factors you want to be thinking about in doing that? And again, I really want you to focus not on the concept of a gap year. It almost sounds negative, like you're taking a gap from your life. Don't think about a gap. Think about it, as I said, like a path, a pathway to what you can become in terms of your academics and how you can succeed. What you can really be thinking about in terms of your own professional development. And most of all, and probably most important to me, and I'm biased in this way, what you can do about your personal and your passion in this path here. What can you really charter forward during this time? Okay, so the first one is academic. Now, when thinking about the academic, what exactly does that mean? From the academic perspective, and this is some of the stuff that people have done before in this, what I'm going to again keep calling the path year, right? Historically, people have taken language classes, people have taken summer school classes and continue taking like kind of off the beaten track online classes to kind of develop themselves. So one thing to be thinking about is the academics. And the academics, what could you be doing during this year to really get you on the, let's say, the right track for what you want to major in? So maybe taking those classes, maybe taking some college credits online, maybe taking some Coursera courses, maybe doing some research with a professor or research with an institution, right? So these things will help you develop and allow you to kind of hit the ground running when you get back to school in a year. And if those schools still demand almost kind of like asking you to say, what are you going to do? It does help to have kind of like a pathway for the academics, because probably the schools don't want you to take that year off only to not come back. They want you to come back. So the academic portion is probably an important critical factor to the whole thing, especially from the scholastic or the school's perspective. Okay? So think about it from the academic perspective. What could you be doing during this year off to really kind of help you hit the ground running when you come back to school? Okay? The second factor that's critical to kind of think about is your professional development. And so from a professional standpoint, a lot of people have been coming to me for mentorship and asking me, what can we be doing? And so some people are considering doing internships that are unpaid. Some people are considering whether they should be thinking about doing full-on jobs, consulting opportunities, different things like that they could be thinking about. So think about it from a professional standpoint. If you're interested in a certain career path and you know that, whether it's in medicine or engineering or international development or finance or what have you, okay? You want to be thinking about what can you be doing, right, to get you on that track to discover that field more, okay? And that's an important factor in terms of the professional aspect. Think about what you could be doing to basically help you get on that path for your own professional development. So it's a good year to really kind of discover that in the process. The third factor to be thinking about is your finances. Now, some people don't have the privilege of being able to take a whole year off and not make any money. Some people are getting funding from their parents, potentially that professional opportunity I said that they could be making money from and so forth. So some people are not going to have finances. So maybe it's important for you to use this year to make money. And that's an important factor for some people, right? So sometimes you'll be sacrificing the academics, possibly even the professional of what you really want to do, just to make as much money as you can, save that money, and be able to put it back towards your education, right? And that's an interesting opportunity. It's a great opportunity to develop that kind of concept, because in this case, you again have a year off right in the middle of school to make money, to throw it back at your education, to try to pay off those debts and those loans. Okay, so that's another factor to be thinking about, is the finance portion of the whole equation. Now the last one is my favorite, and that's your personal and your passion. Okay, I love to travel, right? I love to travel. It's a very important factor for me. But right now, unfortunately, there's very few countries that will allow us to travel. Again, I talk from an American perspective. Other students in other countries may have more accessibility. So typically when you did this year off, the gap year, the path year, a lot of students used it as travel to go and explore. We're not going to be able to probably do that in its entirety of the year. But it's so important to use this opportunity to develop yourselves, develop core skills for yourself, read books, learn languages, meet people. Obviously you can't meet people face to face, but you can meet them online, virtually. But develop yourself, take that opportunity to learn about who you are, what drives you, what's your true north. Because I'm telling you, when you graduate, and you can have the greatest degree from the greatest school, if you don't have a path, if you don't know who you are, what you want, the core values that drive you, you're back to square one. You're going to have an empty life that's not going to be fulfilling in terms of where you belong and what you really should be doing. So use this here to really discover who you are in the process. And that will really, really help you through different mechanisms of really understanding your core, your passion, you. Okay, so let's do a quick repeat of what exactly we covered today. We covered the academics, which are a very, very important aspect of thinking about it. We're talking about the professional. We're talking about the financial rewards that you could be making. And finally, the personal and the professional, the personal and the passion aspect of what you could be doing during this year. And think about it as a sliding scale. Maybe you'll have 20% academics, 40% finance, 60% professional, all the way on the passion. So it's a sliding scale. You're not going to get 100%, but you'll get very close to it. And here's my call to action to you. Okay? Think about what you want to do. Sit back, write it out. Write out everything you could be doing in this year and really benefiting from it for yourself, okay? The personal, the professional, the academic, the finances. Put it all down onto paper. Think about it. Start thinking about who you want to contact to help you get to that point, and that will really get you on the right track. Okay, well, I hope you found this useful and will help get you on the right track to success. If you have any questions or comments, please post them below. We'll do our best to keep providing you with free guidance. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and as always, please stay safe, stay sane, and stay connected.